Kelly Diane Libra Queen here. I was recently asked to tell what it's like to be a medium. And so thought I would talk a little bit about that today. What is it like? And even the word medium, I don't really like to categorize myself like that necessarily. But this is the best way I can explain it. So what is it like to be a medium? First off, my abilities really intensified about, I would say, 10 years ago when I was living in an apartment. I just started feeling almost paranoia, as the best way I can put it. I felt paranoid. I was really concerned about it. I felt like there were people at the end of my bed, at the outside of my shower, and I just couldn't shake the fact that I felt there were people there. And I remember telling my husband now at the time, he wasn't my husband then, but he's my husband now, that there's someone in the room, there's someone outside the shower. Like, I would jolt awake and shake him and go, oh my gosh, there's somebody here. And I know he didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know either, so I really thought there was an issue, like maybe mentally with myself. I'm going, oh my God, I'm literally losing my mind. So I thought that I would investigate further with this, and so I just over time started getting into the metaphysics of things and going to events and stuff like that. And I had another medium tell me, hey, are you aware that you can do this? Are you aware that you can speak to those who have passed over? And I'm like, what? Okay, that kind of makes sense as to why I've been feeling the things that I have. And so her suggestion was that I go ahead and just try to give someone a reading, someone I don't know. That's another thing everyone needs to understand. When you're psychic or a medium or an empath, which I am all three, it's really, really hard for you to give someone you know a reading because your reading's gonna be clouded with what you already know. So it was very important that I find someone that I didn't know to give a reading to. So eventually when I just started writing down. I just started writing down messages. I just started connecting with whoever I was feeling and not being afraid of it, because that at first I was afraid. I was afraid of what I was getting and who I was connecting with, what I was feeling. It was a very scary time for me because I just didn't know how to really operate, what directions to go. So what I started to do was just start writing. I started writing whatever came to me, whoever came to me. I didn't know if these people would ever find who it is that they were searching for to talk to or not. So fast forward about a year in after I started to feel these abilities, excuse me guys, I decided I would put it out there on Facebook that I was going to start giving readings to people through donation. And so I had someone reach out and say, hey, I would like to have a reading with you. And mind you, I was going into this going, okay, if I meet up with these people and nothing resonates with them, then I'm just gonna give this up, and it's crazy to even think that this is possible. You're not anything special. You can't pretend like you understand how this all works. And I mean, to this day, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand how this works. It's like tuning into a channel and just making sure that I don't interfere with the information that comes forward. That's the most important part of this work, is you just tell someone what it is you're getting and you give it to them. And they are responsible to do with what you give them. So that was like one of the hardest parts of learning how to read or to connect with someone who's died. Getting out of my own way, essentially getting out of the way and letting spirit talk. So I went to this meeting up with this girl, and, you know, of course I was like, okay, if this doesn't work, if this doesn't, because the advice I'd gotten was read somebody you don't know. And so, of course, I'm going, oh my gosh, do I have to actually read a stranger? Like, oh, great, okay. Like, they're going to think I'm insane. It's not going to work. I'm going to bomb it. Well, the exact opposite happened, as you can tell, because I'm here today. It was one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had to this day. You know, I still read this individual regularly, and it's been, 5 or more years since our first reading. And it was the most beautiful father-daughter connection. Our father had passed away, and he just came through with so much information. When I give a reading to someone, I don't know what the significance of certain numbers or locations or places are, but when I say them to this person, it can mean the world to them. And that's exactly what happened. And actually, in the reading, the house I went to, the girl I was giving a reading to, her father was coming forward, who had passed away in a very tragic accident. Her mother-in-law had provided the location for us to do the reading in, and the first person that came through was the husband of the mother who provided the location. Mind you, she was skeptical of this completely, just was like, okay, I'm going to provide the location. I'm not going to be part of the reading. I'm just going to be in the house, I'm not even going to be in the room. And yeah, it was life-changing for them and me at the same time. It was absolutely beautiful. So that was my first experience giving a reading, and I knew at that point in time I couldn't not do this work. So from that moment, all the floodgates opened, and I was getting all kinds of people coming, wanting to talk to this people that have passed, wanting to, contact this person, contact that person. And I had to learn over time, okay, breaks, you don't get to just come in my space without, someone contacting me saying they want to speak to their loved one. So I had to learn kind of to shut that part of this work down when I didn't want to do it, and open it up when I was ready to do it, because I was being bombarded by energies and spirits constantly at first, and it was extremely overwhelming. I was constantly writing and constantly telling the stories of people that had passed away over and over, just writing it, and I didn't even know who these people belonged to at first. So over time, spirit started to come forward when a person was going to start, when we would schedule a reading, okay? So how does this work? So when I receive messages, sometimes I feel the physical sensation of how someone passed away, or I feel an ailment that they dealt with in life. Is that comfortable? No, it's not very comfortable. Now that I've developed my skills a little further, I can feel it and then it's gone. When I first started, it was like it would hang around for the entire day, and it was exhausting. So that's a very interesting, that's an empathic thing to do, or being a physical medium, you feel people or living and deceased. So an interesting thing about a lot of readings that come forward is the people that have passed away have a lot of advice for those who are living. So I have a lot of people that contact me and go, I want a future reading, or I want, this type of reading. But how I work is we will communicate with someone who's passed away, and then they will give information as to how that person should move forward. in the, you know, whatever situation they're in. So that, it's kind of like a combo sort of reading. I do have indications from spirit about certain things. So like, you know, they'll show me jewelry and then I'll know, okay, this person has a piece of jewelry from them. Sometimes I get names. It's kind of, mostly I get like age and gender and what kind lineup they are within the family lineage, you know, of grandparent, you know, mother, father. Anyway, so another interesting thing that I've learned through working with people who have passed away is that they feel like they just passed. They can't understand the time frame of why this person may have been grieving for years, and they're like, why are you still upset? This just happened, you know, like I just saw you, and they can't really understand why, like, time. Let me see, what else could I, so it's very a physical experience for me. They will tell me, you know, they will highlight certain parts of the body to indicate, you know, if there was an issue or how they passed, like how that felt for them. Another very important thing I want to address about spirit and what people have talked about when they pass away is that it doesn't hurt. So yes, there's like suffering. I know people suffer when they pass away. They can suffer long, you know, illnesses, but spirit always comes forward telling me that it was quick, or even if their physical body was still alive, that they already transitioned. There is a, how do I explain this? There is a beautiful moment for every spirit I've ever talked to where it's just a release and there's no more suffering. And like, I almost want to cry saying that because it's really just, I feel so grateful to just be able to do this work. It's beautiful. They're at peace. Like every single person that I've ever contacted, I'm just super grateful. And it's just, this is, our physical lives are where it's difficult. And they see the big picture. Every single spirit I've ever talked to sees the big picture and sees what we miss and how beautiful all of it is. So I'm getting extremely emotional because I just feel like the energy, like trying to pour through to communicate to all of you just how much they love you, and how grateful every individual is to be able to communicate their story to their loved ones, and they want everyone to know that they're at peace and they worry about us. And really, honestly, they worry about us when they pass, because they want to guide us in the best possible direction that they can. And that's really what all the messages are, is that there is hope, and to have faith that your loved one is in a much beautiful place than this is. You know, this is our school. This is where we come to experience hardship and work through it. And when you pass away, it's beautiful. You're at peace, finally. And I'm sorry, I'm getting so emotional. But I'm just really grateful to be able to do this work and to bring a message of love from each individual. Even You know, I've even had parents who were just not the greatest of people while they were here come through with just messages of love. And it's beautiful, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. And you know, it was hard to start doing this work. It was a very lonely road to be able to express to people I know, like, what I do, and them go, what? You know, what are you talking about? And I just had to, it was lonely because not a lot of people can understand this work and how much it takes over who you are. And yeah. I hope that was informative for you guys. I'm just, as you can tell, it's a very emotional for me, this work, and to bring healing and comfort to those who have lost someone. They are always there. Always there. They're always watching. They're constantly seeing your progression in life, and they're constantly trying to get through to you that I'm here and I'm guiding you. And what's frustrating for people is that the message isn't always so loud and abrupt and in your face. It's not. It's more subtle. It's those little thoughts or memories that pop into your mind. It's those songs that come on the radio. It's the smell of them. That's how they let you know they're there. And if you just stop for a minute and you just think of them, then you open that door. You open that door for them to come in. So anyway, I'm really blessed to do this work. I'm really thankful to do it. I won't ever quit doing it. There are times where you may not see me very much because I do have to take moments where I kind of pause and come back to this world, because I could easily just exist doing this work and not ever living this human existence, but I have to live it. I have to be here. I have to experience it because I chose to, and we all chose to come here. So that is what it's like to be a medium. Every medium experiences it differently. Another thing I guess I will bring up is I see them here. I don't see them outside of me. Some people do. I don't. I get all the information I need here, and in my body. I feel it. So that is how I give messages to you. I really appreciate you watching, and I'm going to keep putting videos out. And if you guys have any questions about any other subjects, I would love to discuss it with you. And I appreciate all of you, and you're all beautiful. And anything else I need to say, Spirit? Yeah, actually, I just heard it's going to all be okay. It's all going to be okay. And they're all okay. And if you want to set up a personal reading with me, contact me on my Facebook page, Kelly Diane Medium. My YouTube channel is Kelly Diane Libra Queen.